Scary
Dangerous
stuff.
out there in California.
Dangerous stuff. So I want to go back earlier this week. I got a question on Facebook that I didn't get a chance to answer because of the snow. So go ahead and take a look at this. This came in from Laura Nicholson. Many of you may have been asking this as well. How is it determined that spring comes in exactly at 12:15 p.m. on Tuesday? Not just some random
question.
Good question. So I wanted to answer that for you. So let's go ahead and take this other computer. And I had built this up and I wasn't able to do it earlier in the week because of all the snow. So we'll do it now. Kind of keep it simple here. The Earth itself, okay, spins around. We'll kind of put the pieces together. Spins around on its own axis. It takes 24 hours. That's why the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. But the Earth also is rotating around the sun. It takes approximately 365 days, and that is 1 year for us. So you have all this motion going on. You have the Earth spinning around like this. You have it going around the sun. In addition to that, the Earth itself is tilted at approximately 23.5 degrees. And this is very important because the Earth, if it were straight up and down, we would not have weather the way that we know it. We wouldn't have seasons. Everything would be kind of layered like this. It's because of the tilt of the Earth that we have our seasons. So let's talk about that for a second. And first, talk about summer. Now, summer is when the Earth is tilted toward the sun. The rays of light are beaming into the northern hemisphere, and that is why we have our longer days. That's why we have warm weather. And this generally occurs around June 21st. Let's advance 6 months of the year, take the Earth to the other side. It's still tilted at 23.5 degrees, but the difference is the rays of light are now in the southern hemisphere. It's their summer, it's our winter. This for us generally occurs around December 21st. That's why our days are short, that's why it's cooler. So now to the question. Twice a year in its quest going back and forth around the sun, there comes a moment when the sun itself is directly over the equator, and that is what marks the beginning of spring. It's called the equinox. It's derived from a Latin word meaning equal night. It's actually two words, equal night, so equal day, equal night. Every place on Earth has 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of nighttime. For us, it's on or around March 21st. This year it was March 20th. And then 6 months later, as it's going around, it occurs in the fall, September 21st. And last but certainly not least, you may have heard that on the equinox you can balance an egg on end. It's kind of something that floats around. That is a myth. If you can balance an egg on the equinox, you can balance it any day of the year. That's why it occurred at 12:15 p.m. It was right over the equator. Michelle, send it back to you.
Wow, I just learned a whole lot, including the fact that you're in shape. You saw those squats you pulled off? Very nice. All right.